Did you know that the man who once faced legal issues for selling records ended up crying when he sold his music label for £500 million? This is the story of Sir Richard Branson, a maverick who turned a small magazine into a global empire. From dodging legal battles over music records to crying tears of mixed emotions as he sold his beloved music label for a staggering £500 million, Branson's tale is nothing short of cinematic. Join us on this roller coaster ride as we unveil how a young boy with dyslexia, selling Christmas trees and dreaming big, rocketed into space history. But where did this extraordinary journey begin? What drove a young Richard Branson, struggling with dyslexia and ADHD, to start his first business? Richard Charles Nicholas Branson was born on July 18, 1950, in Blackheath, London. His father, Edward James Branson, was a barrister, and his mother, Yvette Huntley Branson, was a former ballet dancer and air hostess. Richard grew up with two younger sisters, Lindy and Vanessa. His lineage traces back to India, where 4 generations of his family lived. Branson's educational journey began at Sketcliffe School in Surrey and continued at Stowe School in Buckinghamshire. Despite facing challenges with dyslexia and ADHD, which affected his academic performance, Branson's entrepreneurial spirit shone through from an early age. His headmaster's prediction that he would either end up in prison or become a millionaire foreshadowed his future success. Growing up, Branson was influenced by his mother's entrepreneurial spirit. He witnessed her successfully engage in various small business ventures, such as crafting and selling wooden tissue boxes and waste paper bins. Although Branson's first business attempts didn't quite work out. He tried selling Christmas trees and then budgeriders, but neither took off. However, his persistence paid off when he launched a magazine called Student in 1966 with his friend Nick Powell. The magazine started slow, but soon played a key role in his next venture. Student magazine became a platform for Branson to jump into the record business. He used the magazine to promote music albums, tapping into the youth market. By 1969, Branson was already worth £50,000. He ran this business from a church's crypt in London. How did Branson's unique approach to selling records challenge and change the music industry? His record business stood out because he sold albums that were cheaper than those sold by mainstream stores like W.H. Smith. He believed in starting a business to address frustrations with the status quo. This strategy worked despite the retail industry's restrictive pricing policies at the time. But his journey wasn't without hurdles. In 1971, Branson faced legal issues over selling records that were marked for export. He settled the matter by paying a fine and the unpaid taxes, which his parents helped cover by remortgaging their home. In 1972, Branson launched Virgin Records, a name reflecting their inexperience in business. Later, he invested in a recording studio called the Manor Studio. The studio started out by giving a platform to new artists. Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells was the first hit for Virgin Records. Virgin Records became known for signing artists that other labels avoided, like the Sex Pistols. This bold approach helped Virgin Records grow, signing major artists and becoming a significant player in the music industry. By 1979, Branson was worth £5 million, and Virgin Records were international the following year. The transition into the 1980s marked a new chapter for Branson and his Virgin brand. One of the most notable ventures began quite unexpectedly when Branson found himself stranded due to a canceled flight to Puerto Rico. In a characteristic move of seizing opportunity from adversity, he chartered a plane and offered seats to other stranded passengers for a nominal fee. The experience planted the seed for what would become Virgin Airlines, a major pivot from the music industry to the airline business. In 1982, Branson continued to diversify the Virgin portfolio by venturing into the nightlife scene with the purchase of the gay bar Heaven. The 1990s saw Branson further expanding his business interests. He made a bid for ITV franchises and dabbled in music production with the novelty record Ba Ba Black Sheep by the Singing Sheep. But what inspired Branson to leap from the music industry to launching an airline? The year 1992 was indeed a turning point for Virgin. Faced with the need to secure the future of Virgin Atlantic, Branson made the difficult decision to sell the Virgin music label to EMI for £500 million. This sale, though financially beneficial, was emotionally challenging for Branson, who was reportedly brought to tears by the decision. However, this setback didn't keep him away from the music industry for long. By 1996, Branson re-entered the music world with V2 Records. During the same period, Virgin expanded its aviation interests with Virgin Express and ventured into the railway business with Virgin Rail Group. This was a strategic move during the privatization of British Rail. The early 1990s also witnessed a series of disputes with British Airways, which saw Virgin as a formidable competitor. This ended with BA compensating Branson and his airline, and the payout was shared with his staff. In 1999, the Virgin brand diversified into the telecommunications sector with the launch of Virgin Mobile. This was followed by the introduction of Virgin Blue, an airline in Australia, in 2000, further expanding Virgin's global aviation footprint. As we dive deeper, we discover how Branson's dream of space travel begins to take flight. Can a visionary like Branson successfully lead humanity into the era of space tourism? 2004 marked Branson's ambitious entry into space tourism with Virgin Galactic. He planned to take his children on the first public flight of Spaceship Two. Branson's dedication to this venture was evident in his personal business jet, adorned with Virgin Galactic livery. By 2006, Branson's success had pushed him to the status of the 9th wealthiest person in the UK, with a net worth exceeding $3 billion. In the aviation industry, Virgin continued to play a pivotal role. In 2006, it contributed to the formation of Brussels Airlines through a merger with SN Brussels Airlines. Virgin Nigeria was another of Branson's ventures, operating from around the same time until 2009. Virgin America, launched in 2007, began flights from San Francisco, further extending Virgin's airline portfolio. Branson was committed to developing cheaper, eco-friendly fuels. In 2006, he pledged the profits of Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Trains to environmentally friendly fuel research, a commitment of around $3 billion. 2006 was also the year Branson sold Virgin Mobile for £900 million to NTL Telewest, forming Virgin Media. Despite not owning Virgin Media, Branson earns £8.5 million annually for the Virgin brand name. Branson's entrepreneurial spirit led him to form Virgin Comics and Virgin Animation in 2006, collaborating with notable figures like Deepak Chopra. He also launched Virgin Health Bank in 2007, focusing on umbilical cord blood stem cell storage. How does Branson navigate and overcome the numerous controversies and challenges in his diverse business ventures? The skies were not always friendly for Richard Branson. In the 1990s, Virgin Atlantic faced serious challenges from British Airways. BA was accused of trying to undermine Virgin by stealing passengers and spreading false rumors about the company. This competition escalated into a legal battle. Branson accused BA of running a dirty tricks campaign against Virgin. The issue was serious, threatening the survival and reputation of Virgin in the airline industry. So Branson decided to sue British Airways. The case was highly publicized and involved detailed accusation about BA's tactics against Virgin. Finally, British Airways admitted to the wrongdoing and settled the case by paying damages to Virgin. Branson shared this compensation with his Virgin Atlantic staff, a move that boosted his popularity among his employees and the public. After resolving the dispute with British Airways, Richard Branson and Virgin Atlantic soon faced another challenge. In 2006, Virgin Atlantic was involved in a price-fixing scandal with British Airways. They were accused of secretly coordinating to increase fuel surcharges, a cost passed on to passengers. This was a significant issue for Branson and Virgin as it risked legal penalties and damage to their reputation. The price fixing was against the rules and could lead to large fines. Virgin chose to report the issue to the authorities, admitting their part in the scandal. By doing this, they cooperated with the investigation. Because Virgin helped the authorities, they were not fined. British Airways, however, had to pay a substantial fine. This decision by Branson and Virgin helped them avoid a penalty and showed their willingness to resolve the issue. With all of these challenges, how does Branson continually push the boundaries and innovate? Stay with us as we reveal his resilience and revolutionary moves. Despite the ups and downs in his businesses, Branson's drive to innovate never diminished. In 2008, Virgin Healthcare made headlines by announcing its intention to open clinics that offered a mix of conventional and alternative therapies. This bold move into the healthcare sector was initially met with support from the UK's health minister. However, by mid-2008, Virgin faced setbacks. Plans to integrate these clinics with the National Health Service were shelved due to concerns from the British Medical Association, and Virgin had to abandon its plans to take over an NHS practice in Swindon. In July 2012, Richard Branson made headlines with a bold announcement: Launcher 1. This new project under Virgin Galactic was Branson's way of shaking up the space industry. He wanted to make it cheaper to send satellites to space, opening new doors for smaller companies. The same year brought a challenge for Virgin Rail. They were running the intercity West Coast Line, but the government wanted to give it to another company, First Group. Branson didn't back down. He fought hard, saying this decision wasn't fair. In the end, he was right. The government found mistakes in the process, and Virgin Rail stayed on the line. It was a tough fight, but Branson showed he wouldn't give up easily. 2014 was a busy year for Branson. He saw potential in drones and put his money into a drone company, 3D Robotics. But he wasn't just thinking about technology, he started a competition for new food businesses called Foodpreneur. He wanted to help people with fresh ideas for food and drinks get their start and even get their products into big stores. Running trains wasn't always smooth. In 2015, Virgin teamed up with Stagecoach to run the intercity East Coast Line. They tried their best, but by 2018 they had to step back, and the government took over. It was a setback, but that's part of business. You win some, you lose some. Branson appeared as a guest investor on Shark Tank in October 2017, where he invested in a sustainable skateboard company founded by a young entrepreneur. His involvement underscored his commitment to supporting innovative ideas and sustainability. In April 2018, Branson announced the acquisition of the Hard Rock Casino Hotel in Las Vegas, planning to rebrand it under Virgin Hotels. Like many businesses, the Virgin Group was hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. In March 2020, international air travel plummeted by around 60%. Branson faced criticism for asking staff to take unpaid leave during this crisis. The airline industry, one of Virgin's key sectors, was particularly affected. In May 2020, Virgin announced significant layoffs, a reduction in their fleet, and the retirement of their Boeing 747-400s. Additionally, operations from Gatwick were not resumed post-pandemic. In a remarkable turnaround on July 11, 2021, Branson himself flew to the edge of space aboard the Virgin Galactic spacecraft, VSS Unity. Reaching 86 kilometers, or 53 miles above Earth, he became the first billionaire founder of a space company to achieve this feat. This event was a major milestone for Virgin Galactic and private space travel. Branson's journey hasn't been without its share of failures. Ventures like Virgin Cola, Virgin Cars, and Virgin Brides didn't take off as hoped. Despite these setbacks, Branson maintains a positive outlook on failure. He views mistakes as opportunities for learning and motivation. Branson's story is not just about building a business empire, but about the spirit of never giving up. From near failures to stellar successes, his story is a blueprint for aspiring entrepreneurs.